Hello, Magicasters of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 24th episode of our first level spell series. Today we're taking a look at yet another iconic D&D spell. Today we're taking a look at Detect Magic, also consequently the go-to magic spell for that loot-thirsty character in your party. It is usable by almost all of the caster classes: a bard, cleric, druid, paladin, ranger, sorcerer, wizard, and the artificer, and it is found in the good old trusty player's handbook. With that introduction out of the way, let's take a quick look at some mechanics here so we get the gist of how the spell works. Your cast time is the standard 1 action, and it can be ritual casted for an additional 10 minutes. The range is self, but it extends 30 feet from you in all directions, forming a 30-foot radius. Duration is 10 minutes, and it is a concentration spell, so if you are hit at any point, you need to make a constitution saving throw. You also can't have more than one concentration spell up at the same time. The effect at a glance is as followed. You can sense magic within range. You can see the aura of magic around visible creatures and objects. You also have the ability to learn the school of magic. The components are somatic and verbal, meaning you have to gesture with one hand and speak forth an incantation. And the school, unsurprisingly, is Divination. Fantastic. Let's take a look at the full description so we're all on the same page here. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. This spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Very cool stuff. So something I would like to point out, the spell as listed doesn't give the colors and what they mean, so I went ahead and just put it in the video for you guys. Another thing worth pointing out here, it doesn't actually work on anything invisible or anything hidden, at least not technically. So let's say there is a invisible person around you. You can sense the presence of the magic, but you can't see the aura, and as a result you can't learn the school of magic. Okay, so it's a hard thing to DM. So they'd essentially cast it, you tell them, yeah, no, there is a magical presence within 30 feet of you. They're like, okay, well, I'd like to see the aura and determine what kind of magic it is. And they just have to say, no, you can't. Same is true if there's like a magical sword locked in a box or locked behind a wall, or however you want to do it, DMs. You can tell them that there's magic within 30 feet of them. You can't tell them exactly where it is, and you can't tell them what school, and you can't have them see the aura. So it's kind of weird, you know, that. And maybe you define visible as something else than me, but in my games, that's how I've had to run it. Fantastic. That being said, super cool, super useful, and let's get into some of those alternative uses right now. So it'd be super useful to be able to determine whether or not a player is being possessed, right? Necrotic magic would definitely give off, or mentally dominated, or however you want to, whichever spell's being affected. It would be a great way of picking out magical items in a store. That's another fantastic use for this spell. It would save your players a ton of time digging through worthless garbage, or just cut straight to the chase and go for the best thing there, and it can also prevent them from being scammed. And the third use is kind of along that same school of thought. It would be a great way to determine whether or not someone is cheating you or manipulating you, or whether or not the world around you is even believable. If a person hands you something and tells you that it can be trusted, and then when you look at it, it's giving off waves of necrotic or illusion magic, then you know what? Maybe it's not that great for you. Maybe you should look at that person with a little bit more scrutiny. In any case, if you have any crazy alternative uses or cool stories involving detect magic, I'd really love to hear them down in the comments. I know everyone else tuning in would as well. There's a great sense of community. Let's keep it going, guys. And you know what? It is a great group to be a part of. Everyone's super kind to each other and super supportive. In any case, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy casting.